What's happening, beautiful people? Happy Monday, everyone. It's Monday, 14th of September, and we are 10 minutes into the European opening. How is everyone doing, first of all? How was your weekend, guys? Type your questions, interact with me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if I can help with anything. And let's get started. In the economic calendar, very busy week, guys. Crazy busy week in the economic calendar with the interest rate decision announced on the US dollar on Wednesday, as well as crude oil inventories. And on Thursday, we have the interest rate decision on the pound, as well as the initial jobless claims on the US dollar. On top of that, we have two more interest rate decisions on the South African rand and another one coming from Brazil. So crazy busy week in the economic calendar. We're going to get to that in just 2 minutes. Let's see what the headlines are today. Dollar down, but focus is on pounds, Brexit wows, and Japan's PM vote. Let's start with this article. Then I have another article to show you, and then we go to the economic calendar. And towards the end, guys, we're going to take some more trading signals provided by our friends at FOMC. I took some signals on Friday. They went into profit. I'm going to share the results with you in a few minutes. So the dollar was down on Monday morning in Asia, but the focus centered on the British pound and Japanese yen. The pound rallied from its fall during the previous session over increasing fears of a hard Brexit. In Japan, the ruling party will vote in a new leader later in the day, with the winner widely expected to replace Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The US dollar index that tracks the greenback against a basket of other currencies edged down 0.16% to 93.19 by 11:57 p.m. Eastern Time, and rolled over to the December contract on Sunday. Investors await the U.S. Federal Reserve's policy meeting scheduled for Wednesday, with further monetary easing widely expected. But some investors cautioned against setting those expectations too high. Let's see what Standard Chartered Bank strategist had to say in a note. Having set aside yield curve control as a near-term policy option, the FOMC does not seem to have an operational consensus on how to use the balance sheet, Standard Chartered Bank strategist said in a note. This may disappoint investors, they added. Other central banks, including Bank of Japan and Bank of England, are due to announce their policy decisions on Thursday, with the pound going up 0.22% to 128.21, despite fears that the UK would exit from the European Union with no trade deal, mounting and putting pressure on the pound. Very interesting. London acknowledged during the previous week that it could break international law in a very specific and limited way. The comments led to a backlash from European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, as well as former Prime Minister Tony Blair and John Mayer said on Sunday Britain must stop the shocking plan to pass legislation breaking its divorce treaty with the European Union in a breach of international law. I'm tempted to say that was a very wise statement coming from the previous prime ministers. Right, moving on to the dollar, the USD JPY pair inched down 0.04% to 106.09 ahead of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party vote for the new leader, due to take place later in the day. Chief Cabinet Secretary is predicted to win in a landslide victory, with successor to be Abe expected to be appointed on Wednesday. Investors also expect few radical changes, with Suga widely expected to continue Abe's current policies if appointed. Okay, this concerns the Japanese yen. Right, moving on. Let's have a quick look at AUD USD. So the Aussie dollar inched down 0.03% to 0.7281, while the Kiwi dollar pair was up 0.46% to 0.6694. What's worth knowing, guys, is that usually the Aussie dollar and the Kiwi dollar tend to move in the same direction. Okay, but occasionally, considering the events that happen in each country independently, they might not move together. But this happens on rare occasions. Usually they tend to move together. Okay, the USD Chinese yuan pair inched down 0.04% to 6.8301. China is scheduled to release industrial production and retail sales data on Tuesday. Okay, so dollar down, yeah, but the focus is on pounds Brexit, while and Japan's prime minister vote. Right, let's move on. Let's see what is happening in Europe. European stocks seen higher amid fresh vaccine hopes. That's a very good news that comes from AstraZeneca, guys. The company that last week halted, yeah, they stopped developing the new vaccine after a tester from UK had an allergic reaction to the vaccine, but apparently they are back on track. Let's see the news coming from investing.com. European stocks markets are seen opening higher Monday, boosted by renewed hopes of prompt delivery of coronavirus vaccine. However, caution ahead of upcoming central bank meetings may limit the gains. At 2:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the DAX futures contract in Germany traded 1% higher. CAC 40 futures in France climbed 0.5%, while the FTSE 100 futures contract in the UK rose 0.4%. Now, the good news I was telling you about, AstraZeneca announced Saturday that it had resumed phase 3 trials of its COVID-19 vaccine candidate, which it is developing with the University of Oxford after the relevant UK authorities gave their approval. The trials have been halted last week after a patient came down with an unspecified illness, causing doubt of the timing of the rollout of the vaccine, one of the most advanced in development. Additionally, a day later, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla said the company's own candidate, co-developed with German drug maker BioNTech, has a good chance of submitting key data from late-stage trials by the end of October, and once approved, could be rolled out to Americans by the end of the year. Investors have long been looking for a vaccine to allow people across the world to return to work and consumption habits they had before the pandemic and its lockdowns. However, there is also likely to be a degree of caution shown ahead of a number of important central bank meetings later this week. Yes, as I said when we started the webcast, guys, very, very big week in the economic calendar. I'll show you the economic calendar in a minute. Very, very good trading week, as the volatility is expected to be sky high. So, what is this all about? The US Federal Reserve concludes its two-day policy meeting on Wednesday. It's expected to update its projections for the economic and interest rate outlook, which will include forecasts for 2023 for the first time. Additionally, the Bank of Japan and the Bank of England will also announce their respective policy decisions on Thursday. Right, now more on oil, guys. Oil prices strengthened Monday on the Asian trading session as another fierce storm in the Gulf of Mexico caused rigs to shut down production. Tropical storm Sally is gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico and is forecast to be a Category 2 hurricane. This is the second weather disruption to oil production in less than a month, with Hurricane Laura forcing shutdowns less than 3 weeks earlier. Sally is expected to make landfall near New Orleans on Tuesday. Having said this, U.S. crude futures traded 0.5% higher at $37.53 a barrel, while the international benchmark Brent contract rose 0.3% to $39.93. Elsewhere, gold futures rose 0.5% to $19.57, while Euro USD traded 0.1% higher at $118.51. So, very important to know, guys, Tropical Sally is expected, is again in the storm in the Gulf of Mexico and is expected to hit landfall. You can see a screenshot with its trajectory. Okay, so now it's heading towards Panama City or New Orleans, depending on how the winds will push it. Okay, and this already caused a lot of oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico to shut down. Yeah, hopefully pushing oil price above the 37 level, which oil has been flirting with for over a week. Okay, let's have a quick look at the charts, guys, and see how the markets open today. Right, as we speak, we see crude oil trading at 37.55, still at 37.55. Hey, let's see if it will find the power to push towards the 38 level or a bit higher today. Okay, we see the euro currently trading at 118.54, a positive opening on the European session for the euro and the pound as well. There you go, guys. The pound is also advancing slightly. Still very, very shy because it's very early in the morning. The trading session has only started. USD JPY, we saw a negative opening on the US dollar today. The Aussie dollar mixed. It opened positive, but it's still fluctuating. Let's give it a bit more time to see what's going to happen. USD Canadian again. USD pointing towards the downside. There you go. Yes, so the dollar is weakening. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones closed the week in red again. Okay, let's see what the market opening will show us today. More likely, we will see a positive opening on the American indices, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. US dollar index, we're looking at the US dollar index trading at 93.12, again pointing downwards. Now, in times like this, a lot of traders will probably aim for the 93 flat level and will go in with sell positions, considering the RSI and the stochastic at the bottom of the chart pointing downwards and still trading somewhere in between overbought and oversold levels. Okay, gold futures currently trading at 1955. Again, positive opening for gold today. If the dollar will keep on dropping, very likely we will see gold strengthening. And who knows, maybe we're going to see gold trading at 1960, maybe 1970 today. Okay, as we see a very important resistance level at 1972. Okay, just a bit of push from the markets should push gold towards the 1980 mark. Right, good news for Brent oil futures. Again, Brent oil as well as crude are pushing slightly higher today. As we speak, Brent oil is looking to break the $40 mark. Okay, currently trading at $39.98. Okay, just a small push, and it's going to break the 40 mark. And who knows, maybe it's going to target the 41 level later on today. Okay, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, guys, and let's see what is going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still on the rebound with an uptrend from what I can see on the charts, and with a very nice correction from the 10,242 level. Currently trading at 10,376. Okay, now we might see trading slightly higher today, towards 10,440. And why not the 10,500 level with a bit of a push from the markets. Right, now let's get to the economic calendar, guys. As I was telling you, very, very busy week, crazy busy week in the economic calendar that with events that will trigger a lot of volatility, a lot of opportunities for traders. So regardless if you're new to trading or if you're an experienced trader, now is the time to have a closer look at the charts and try and take advantage of the volatility of the market. So what's going on today? We're going to have the OPEC monthly report released after lunch, GMT plus 3 today. Okay, with a press conference from European Central Bank later on in the afternoon. Now, tomorrow, guys, we're going to start early after midnight with announcements coming on the Aussie dollar and on the Chinese yuan, followed with announcements coming from UK at 9 in the morning when Frankfurt opens. All right, we're going to have the unemployment rate early tomorrow morning, so a bit of volatility expected on the pound tomorrow. Okay, the forecast is 4.1%. Versus a previous of 3.9%. So economists are expecting the unemployment rate to rise just a tiny bit in UK. Okay, moving on, we're going to have some announcements in the Eurozone on the Swiss franc and then the French Consumer Price Index. Another press conference from the European Central Bank. Okay, and the Italian Consumer Price Index to be released later on. Okay, after lunchtime, we're going to have announcements on the US dollar, manufacturing sales, NY Empire State Manufacturing Index, import and export price index to be announced at 3:30 GMT plus 3 on Tuesday. Also, Tuesday, late in the evening in Europe, we're going to have the API weekly crude oil stock, which usually it's a very good indication for the crude oil inventories that will be announced in the following day, which is on Wednesday. Right, talking about Wednesday, again, early in the morning at 9 o'clock, we have the consumer price index and the producer price index coming out on the pound. Okay, so again, the pound will open the trading session on Wednesday. Okay, interesting announcements on the Canadian dollar. Yeah, we have the core CPI. Very interesting announcements on the US dollar. The core retail sales and the retail sales for August will be announced at 3:30, along with the announcements coming from Canada. Okay, and the fun starts after 4:30 Europe time. Yeah, which with the Cushing storage report. Yeah, with the retail inventories, the ex-auto sector, with the crude oil inventories and the Cushing crude oil inventories, then followed by interest rate projections. Okay, till 2100 hours. At 2100 hours, again, we're going to have the FOMC economic projections, an FOMC statement, and very, very important, the interest rate decision on the US dollar, guys, which currently stands at 0.25%. Economist expectations is to remain unchanged at 0.25%. Okay, let's see what they will do. Most probably the rate will remain unchanged. Those were the signals coming from FOMC, but again, you never know, guys. They might take everyone by surprise. So Wednesday, huge day in the economic calendar. Great volatility expected. Great day to trade. Yeah, regardless of your experience, the volatility will be there, and it's not very difficult to get it right, as the price can only go up or down. Let's move on to Thursday, guys, and see what is expected to happen on Thursday. Okay, after so Wednesday after midnight, we're gonna have announcements on the Kiwi dollar and the Aussie dollar. Okay, the unemployment rate is announced. Again, they see an increase in unemployment at 7.7% versus 7.5% last month. Okay, we have the interest rate decision on the Japanese yen, which is a negative interest rate decision, and again, expected to remain on the negative side with negative 0.10%. Okay, and later on in the day, around lunchtime, core consumer price index in the Eurozone, followed by a lot of announcements from UK. Okay, we have the interest rate decision on the pound on Thursday, which is expected to remain unchanged at 0.1%. Okay, to try and boost the UK economy. And then we have building permits and housing starts along with the initial jobless claims announced at 3:30 GMT plus 3. Okay, also at 4 o'clock GMT plus 3, you have the interest rate decision on the South African Rand for the South African traders, which again is expected to remain at 3.5%. That's what the economists predict. And finally, Friday, guys. Friday, we open the day with announcements coming from UK with the core retail sales year over year and the monthly retail sales. Okay, a few announcements in the Eurozone. The unemployment rate on the Russian ruble, if we have exotic currency traders, that might give you a bit of profit if you get it right. 3:30 Friday afternoon, we have new housing price index on the Canadian dollar and retail sales. All right, so crazy busy week, guys. Crazy busy week. We have 4 or 5 interest rate decisions on quite a few currencies. Okay, we have the tropical storm Sally in the Gulf of Mexico heading towards the mainland, heading towards New Orleans. We already have a lot of oil rigs shut down. So very, very interesting what's going to happen on the markets this week. Now, as I promised you, I'm going to take some trading signals. Let's have a look at the previous trades that I took following the signals from ForexC on Friday. Okay, I closed the Aussie dollar trade earlier on. Now it's time to close the Kiwi dollar with a profit of $23 and oil with a profit of $7. Yeah, so the overall profit will be $6.70. Okay, so far so good. My demo account stands at 27,045. Okay, I am up 11,000 for the month. Let's see if I'm up a bit over 11,000. Bear with me for a second. 10,950. Okay, I am up almost 11,000 for the month. I didn't trade. I didn't overtrade. I didn't trade much. I just took a few trading signals and a few buy positions on recoveries. So let's have a quick look at what the trading signals of FOMC are saying today. So you go on their website, you click on market signals at the top of the page, and you will be redirected to the free trading signals they provide. Right, what have we got today? 6 minutes ago, we have a buy position on the pound versus the Kiwi dollar. And an hour ago, we had a buy position on the Kiwi dollar versus the dollar. An hour ago, again, silver came out with a buy position. Right, GBP, Kiwi dollar. Let's have a quick look at the pound. There it is. Pound versus the Kiwi dollar. Yes, okay. Right, I'm going to go 0.1. Okay, buy position with a take profit just above the 200 moving average. Yeah, I'm targeting a profit of $24 and a movement of 36 pips. Okay, I can set a stop loss just below the support level, which is somewhere there. Okay, and fingers crossed, my trades will go into profit in about half an hour to 1 hour. Right, the second position is on silver, which is a buy position with a take profit at 27,030. Let's have a look and see what is happening with silver. Okay, silver is currently doing a bit of a pullback. Okay, all right. I'm going to go 0.1 on silver. I'm not going to set a take profit or a stop loss on this one. I'm just going to let it go for a bit of time. Okay, and I will allow the markets the time they need to breathe. We're 34 minutes into the European opening, so I'm sure the markets by now have settled and proper volumes will come into place. Okay, oil still not having the power of pushing further above the 37.60 level, still trading where it traded this morning at 37.55. Okay, there is a slight uptrend for oil if you look at it carefully. There is the trend line. Okay, so it is trying to create higher highs slowly. Okay, and higher lows. Let's see what's going to happen later on today, guys. Let's see what's going to happen later on today. No one can predict the markets 100%. Right, join me at 4:30 GMT plus 3. And let's ring the bell together for the first time this week for the US opening. And we're going to have a look at the trades I took on my demo account following the trading signals at FOMC. Let's see if we're going to have a successful day today. And why not a successful week? This was it from my side today. Join me at 4:30. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.